Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video is a request from a viewer who wanted to have some sort of something that they could do for their lower back from all of the sitting they've been doing in front of Zoom meetings. Now, this series can be done if you just can't get to the floor for your yoga, or again, if you're sitting in front of Zoom meeting, you can do these things even while the Zoom meeting is going on. I used to have a student years ago who called them desk asana. She was a VP for a large corporation. She said, anything I can do in a meeting and nobody knows what I'm doing. So this is some desk asana for you. Or again, if you can't get to the floor, here's your option while you're sitting in the chair. So first of all, you're going to get to the edge of your chair and get your feet right beneath your knees. You're going to draw your belly in and lift tall. And just take a moment, because one of the most important things we can do is really work on the alignment of our body in the first place. That will do an enormous amount for supporting our lower back. And you'll notice if you tip your pelvis forward, just your pelvis, not your whole body, you're just tipping the pelvis, your lower back will arc more and you'll feel some lower back tension, like it'll get a little tighter than it usually is. And then if you go the other way, draw your belly in and round that, tipping that pelvis back, rounding the lower back, you're going to find your belly will begin to grip. We want to find that middle point. I call it the sweet spot, where you're right up on top of your sit bones. The bones are at the very base of your pelvis, and the lower back is at its neutral curve. And from there, you're going to get really long. Reach out through the top of the head, feeling open across the heart, and just take a breath. And just feel it. Really feel that position. And that's something you can easily work on during a meeting. And in fact, it just gives you better posture, makes you look more confident. So many good things that go on with that, right? Now, draw the belly button in and just round the lower back. And we're not rounding anything else but the lower back. So you'll see you can't even notice anything else moving. You really need to suck the belly button in hard to feel any kind of movement down there. And you might even not really feel any movement. That's totally fine. Just keep going. It'll come. It does take a while sometimes to get this movement down there. And you're really pulling it in. Now, if you can, go ahead and do the whole spine. Lift up. And what I mean by if you can is if nobody's watching you in the meeting and you can get away with it, go ahead and do the whole spine. All the way down and then all the way up. Now, another variation you can add to this is what I call freestyle. And that's taking it side to side as you arch and round. This one gets a little bit dicey to hide on a meeting, but if it's possible, it feels really good. And you can just make it small too. Feels really good. And then back to neutral and take a moment. See if you can find that sweet spot in your sit bones again, getting long through the body. All right, now bring your right leg up and you're going to squeeze it up into the chest. And what happens is the pelvis will tuck under slightly and you'll get a little bit of a stretch through that lower back. And release. And again, come up and release. One more. And now you're going to set the ankle across the knee and lift tall. Now what you want to be careful of is there's no tweaking in this knee at all. And if you feel tweaking, lift the knee up. If you still feel tweaking, or if you just can't get the ankle across the knee, just cross it at your ankles. It's not quite as effective, but it's pretty good. What we're doing with this stretch is getting into the upper buttock, the tension in the upper buttock in particular, the piriformis muscle, which often contributes to lower back tension. I might even say always contributes. It's pretty amazing. So you want to keep that foot flexed, and you're going to lift tall. You might already feel a stretch. If you don't, you want to go further, you just tip forward right from the hip hinge. Feeling open across the heart. This is something my student did all the time. She said she got away with this in meetings. Nobody ever noticed. Sometimes she would rest her elbows on the table. But it's getting right into that hip, right? And then turn to face your knee. And you're going to stay low as you scoot forward and toward your foot. Can you feel that? And you can even push the knee the other way a little bit as you extend out, and it just dials it right into that hip. And then come back up and release. Just take a breath. All right, we're going to bring the other leg up, lift tall, and release. Lift it up and release. Last time, bring it up, and this time cross the ankle over the knee. Now, again, assess the knee. Even if you could do it on the other side or couldn't do it on the other side, this side will be different. So just feel it. Lift tall, modify if you need to, and then come forward. Also realize that every day is a little different. There's certainly some days where I feel the tweaking in the knee, and that's just because I did extra walking or exercise, or was gardening or shoveling or something that caused extra tension in the hip, and I just need to be a little bit more careful. So every time you come into this, assess how your knee feels. And then you're going to turn toward the knee and stay low as you slowly scoop through the front and over to the other knee. I'm sorry, the other knee, the other foot. And then come back up and release. And again, take a breath. It feels pretty good, doesn't it? One last thing, if you can get away with it, a twist is really wonderful. So you want to twist to your right first. You'll take your right hand back behind you and grab onto your chair someplace if you can. Left hand comes outside the right knee as you twist. Now you want to think of lengthening the spine. So you feel the sit bones feel rooted as you lengthen and twist. Feeling open across the heart. And come back through the center. And we'll go the other way. Lift tall as you twist. And then release and come back to the center and just take a breath. I hope this helps you with a few tips and tricks for taking care of your lower back with all the sitting that we've been doing. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up by liking down below and also subscribing to the channel so you get more videos as we go forward. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.